I'm going to walk you through my interactive summary of our Hypermedia and Hypertext course. So in our overview here, I have made this interactive by you can select a tab on top to bring you to a certain module. You can also use the front and back arrows if you'd like to go forward or backward in a presentation. And in every slide, you can also select this little home and it'll bring you back to the home screen. So in Module 1, our introduction into Hypermedia and Hypertext. So in this module, we focused on creating our intro videos, so explaining about ourselves. The web tool that we used there was YouTube, just to take a video of ourselves. In this module, we also created avatars. I used Bitmoji as my web tool, and that is something that I definitely still use in class and will continue to use for my students. And a reflection of just the module overall. The learning changes over time, especially with our experiences, maturity level, our self-motivation. And in my classroom, that self-directed learning is something that I am teaching my students to use on a daily basis. So if we go over to Module 2, we focused on hypermedia and visualization. In this, we really talked about what is hypermedia, and it was how we link our information in a nonlinear or sequential way. We did that with text, videos, graphics, pictures, sounds, and in that presentation, the web tool that we used there, I used Powtoon. I really enjoyed using that presentation tool. It was very easy to use. It was easy to edit and add in various forms of media within it. The only con that I really found when using that tool was that the paid model, a lot of the features that I wanted to use were specifically in that paid model. So in general, though, pros, right? It increases student engagement, scaffolds learning, promotes higher order level thinking and cognitive skills when we use that hypermedia. And the cons that we have are that not everybody has access to technology. The ability level of the users and platforms are constantly changing and updating, so staying up to date on those things can be hard. And also, students could be distracted. In Module 3, continuing in Module 2, the second thing we did was a presentation tutorial using Prezi as the web tool that I used. And linked in here, if you click on this, it'll bring you to my presentation tutorial using Prezi. For this web tool, the pros were that it focused on audience attention because it was able to zoom you in and zoom you out. It was easy to use, especially for students, and they already had templates that were there for you to use. Again, a con would be that the premium content for the images and the videos, that was a lot of the ones I wanted to use. And the major thing that I thought was a con was that you were only able to upload to certain platforms. So for Module 3, we focused on augmented versus virtual reality. And in this one, I used Canva to create my presentation tool. I thought it was super easy to use. They had so many tools. You can embed QR codes. They had templates. There's a lot more free tools on this one compared to any of the other presentation tools that we had. And there's a lot of options to publish and save. The only con was that YouTube was not one of the options to share out to. For our AR and VR, they are both used in education. They're both interactive, and they both require extra technology. So whether it's apps or cameras, in augmented reality that just overlays your objects in your current environment, it is definitely the more cost-effective option, though, when you're looking for it towards technology. The tool that I mainly focused on was GeoGebra AR. That's something that I'm going to definitely use in my classroom because students can visualize these 3D concepts and explore them in a math classroom. And the biggest difference with virtual reality is that it includes your entire field of vision, so whether you're using goggles or glasses. The other piece we focused on was 2D versus 3D, where 2D only focused on your length and your height, where 3D has that perception of depth. So for that one, we looked at 360 videos, and I looked at using how we could use budget to teach students how to buy materials. And finally, for Module 4, applying it to our real life, we focused on Google Earth. So in my presentation, for my assignment, I used how students could calculate the angle of elevation for the Great Pyramid of Giza. And for coding, we focused on Grasshopper is one that I chose so students could learn to code. Overall, though, for all of these, our ISTE standards, we talked about how we could see how this affects us as an educator and relates to our students. So the two that I focused on were 2.5b and 2.5c. And thank you so much.